Ape family. It's been a long time. Been a real long time. But as you can see, we're leaving. What do they call themselves now? Diesel USA or whatever. But long story long, Opti been doing good. He been doing this thing. Not too long ago, I just put a clutch in him. Brand new flywheel, everything. Got 4 days solid. I'm coming down the road and I heard a little pop. When I heard the pop, my truck took off. I'm talking about hit 100 mile an hour within about 6 seconds. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew something was terribly wrong because normally I could get about 62, 63 downhill with a load. That's downhill with a load. But for some reason, Opti decided he wanted to run 100 mile an hour. So I learned that it was not my turbo that ran away, my injector pump ran away. So I just brought it down here to, they used to be called Columbus Diesel. I'm just gonna call them Columbus Diesel because that's what I remember them as, Columbus Diesel. Ran the pump down here to Columbus Diesel and they told me it's gonna range from 2,500 to 3,500 to rebuild the pump. Had no problem with it, it's cool, go ahead, do what y'all do. But then it became an issue with when I left, I needed to pull the injectors out of Opti. So I started to try to pull the injectors out. I got a couple of them out real easy, had a hard time with some. But on top of that, he called me back and he told me the parts he couldn't find because the pump was so old. Mind you, Opti is an 88 Max Superliner. He is old. Short stuff is hard to find, but the new bill, it was already 3,500, but the new bill was going to turn out to be about 5,300. So, me being as cheap as I am, which Opti does deserve it, I got a couple old school cats in the game. I ran it by them, and they made a couple calls to some people, and they said, you know what? Probably better just to replace the motor. Now, the reason why I'm not going against that is because I had some little issues with Opti a long time ago. I got some valve seat issues and stuff like that. But he still do what he's supposed to do, no problem. Just, stuff that I know that's coming down the line. I was going to have to eventually overhaul the motor. But now, what the plans are is I'm going to make a couple calls, find out where this other motor is, which is an E6 Mac motor. And we're probably gonna hop on the road and try to go down here and look at the motor and see if we can't hear it run. And then I'll get my trailer and load it up. But right now I'm about to go back and I'm gonna check y'all in as soon as we get back over here to Opti and observe what we gotta do. Because I'm thinking I might be able to put the motor in without pulling the hood off, but I know I gotta pull the radiator out and start breaking stuff down. And it is what it is. This is, the truck life. Sometimes you gotta make executive decisions on the time down, what it's going to take for them to get new parts in, what it's going to cost, if you're going to have further issues. So now I'm just going to cross my fingers, roll the dice on getting a whole nother motor and see if we can't make it do what it's supposed to do. And I'm definitely going to turn the injector pump up. But stay tuned, man. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, see what we got going on. It's been a while, but right now I've been trying to get to the bag. I got a couple trips I got to take and, bills still, round the way. So I haven't really had time to really record and do nothing. But the process of dropping this motor in Opti is about to go down. We're going to make it happen. Today, we just going to see what all we got to put together and find and get. And we're going to go from there. But I went for one eval ride, getting it back to where it's at. Stay tuned. We about to make it happen. Apes in the building. We made it over to the truck. We made a couple phone calls. So now it's going to be a matter of figuring out what we got to do to either get down the road and get this motor. But we back at Opti. I'm going to pretty much pop the hood and show you what we got going on. I'm going to get him pulled up out of here. It ain't going to take nothing but a day. Changing this motor's like changing a starter. That's a heavy hood right there. That hood is heavy. But long story long again. Truck has been great to me. Motor has did its thing. The issue was the injector pump ended up going crazy on me. I'm gonna drop some pictures of that in the description. Pictures of that in the description. I think I got it over there in the back of the truck, but I'm going to go ahead and just snatch the motor out, drop another one down in him, and see if we can make it do what it's supposed to do. This motor has put in work, and I could have brought it back to life. I eventually would have needed to overhaul. It still had a lot of life left in it, but at this point, I'm not even going to gamble with it. I'm gonna just go ahead and swap it out, put us a better motor in. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna get a call back here shortly and figure out what the deal is on this motor and probably hit the road and get it. But right now, you're looking at a Mack E6 350. We're gonna get everything poured off of it, and shouldn't really take me that long. It looked like it's a lot, but it's just a couple hoses and stuff I got to disconnect, and this thing will be up out there in 2.2. I'm really upset because I just put a brand new flywheel, clutch, and everything in it, and had the injector box kaput. But the engine was not on his last leg, but it still has some life in it. But you know, stuff happens. We're gonna get another motor. What it costs to actually get another pump, they was trying to run the bill up to darn near $5,500, and at the end of the day, I wasn't about to really do that. So now I'm gonna just take a couple pictures and figure out what all I need to remove and get took off, so we can get this thing pulled up out of here and make it a smooth transition. And I'm gonna get the quesos fired up, get cameras hooked up, and start breaking it down. See if we can do this together. It's nothing I've ever done on Opti before, but I've bumped up my skills to be able to do it. So stay tuned. Crew in the field rocking with me. As you can see, I'm sweating. Really didn't get enough time to go home to get the quesos because I hollered at the guy, and he's supposed to have I had a motor down here in the morning. He about maybe like an hour and a half drive out, but he gonna load it up and bring it to me, so that's actually a plus. And we just start busting everything down. We getting all the wires and stuff like that disconnected. After I get this stuff fed over to that side, let me take you around here because I really ain't gonna be able to show you the process too much. But after I get it all poured around to this side, I'm gonna check you in when we get it broke down, so stay tuned. Hey family, as you can see, we still out here putting in work. The dump truck is no longer sitting there. It's sitting over here. We got that thing to move with the power of the dually. So don't forget, like, share, subscribe, see what we got going on. Because when I say that 454 moved it like a feather. Yeah, we got the tow rope hooked up. We got them brakes caged. Snatched it back like it wasn't that. Hey, crew. Bunch of sweat later. We got that motor out on the ground, man. We got to get the other one over here and see what the process is going to be. I'm getting it back in Opti, but I ended up messing up my radiator coming out, so got a couple things I got to do. But Opti to the point where he like, listen, you gonna get me right. So I'm gonna get him all the way together, do what I need to do, and try to get him set back up. But so far everything, he's out of there. He's empty. Gonna have to get something back up in there, creating a little power. I should have put a strap across the back of this transmission because it is hanging a little low, but it'll be all right. But stay tuned, man. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, see what we got going on. Right now, we're trying to get the dump truck back on the road and get to it, but it's one step at a time. I ain't gonna let nothing knock me off my frequency. We're gonna stay tapped in. Like, share, subscribe.